Hi, this is Ginny Prosser, a creative partner with Kiwi Lane. I'm located in Northern California in the Bay Area, and thank you for joining me this evening to view one of my videos. Hope you enjoy it. Bye now. Hi, tonight I'm going to create a two-page layout using the last of the paper that I have from the September 2020 Kiwi Lane kit. And I've already created 4 layouts using this kit, and I'm going to show you the pages that I made. So this is pictures of my granddaughters, and the brunette is the one that's going to be featured probably in all the layouts. And this is when she was 11 years old, and we were waiting for her baby brother to be born. So this was number 1 layout. This is number 2 layout. Oop, it goes the other way. Let's see here. Now, I used different background paper that was available in the kit, and then once I used that up, then I used my own paper from my stock. So this was still all from the kit, and this is her 6th grade dance. Number 3, this is her and her sister, and this is 8th grade, and this was added paper that didn't come with the kit, and the same here with this Bow Bunny dotted Swiss paper. And these sunflowers I made in one of my videos and showed how to use shading and how to use liquid pearls on your items. So these were samples I made, so I just incorporated them in these pages. And then this was the last one, and this is her freshman year in high school, and her name's Riley. On this one, I added this paper, which was denim paper that I had, and I used the title that was called Pocket Full of Sunshine from the Kiwi Lane kit. So now what we're going to do tonight is we're going to create a 2-page layout using the scraps. I've added yellow paper in the background, and this paper is just a thin paper. It's not even double-sided. It's just that thin paper like they sell at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, and it's actually from a paper kit, a paper pack, I think. And these are the pictures that I'm going to use. This is the last piece of the Kiwi Lane paper. And with that, I'm going to use these 2 pieces that I have from the kit also. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so I've done a little prep work while I was off camera. I had showed you the papers that I had that I was thinking of using. And so this piece was already this size, which is 6 3/4 inches. So I decided to cut this blue paper and run it the other way, and I did it 7 inches. So they look very similar. I also picked out what border I was going to use. So I'm going to use Abbey Road along with Funky Frills 3 and 4, and this is Abbey Road 3A and 3B. You'll notice I have a sunflower here, and this was one of the samples that I made on my other video, my first video that I did, I think, in March 25th. It's called Tips and Tricks. And I'm going to do some detailing on some other items to show you how I highlight this And I'll also use this product here so you can see how I do that. So what I've done is I've taken some white paper and cut the garden frills here just to see if I would like it with white. And I think I am going to like it. And now I'm trying to determine if I want to, I mat a lot. I know a lot of Kiwi Lane scrapbookers do not mat their pictures. It's something that I started out with way before Kiwi Lane time. And sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. If it gets lost on the paper and there's too much negative space, then I usually will mat. This one I think looks fine without matting, but these two pictures I think I want to mat. What I'm trying to decide if I want to go with the white, or there was also a dark blue that was left over from that kit. And I think that really would highlight this and make it pop more with this. But I'm not going to decide until I get the two whites here and this cut. So if you remember, I'm going to do the Abbey Road out of this leftover paper that I had from the kit. So I'm going to trace that out now, and the other funky frills, and then I'll come back to you. Oh, also, I have Homegrown here, and it's Homegrown 5, and it's a cute little fence that came as one of the templates with this paper. And I found in my stock, hope you can see this, this wood grain paper. So I have traced the fence on there. So we'll cut that out and I'll highlight it and show you how I will use it over here. Okay, so I'll be back in just a minute after I get my pieces cut out. Okay, so I've traced my Abbey Road onto this printed cardstock of Kiwi Lanes, and I'm going to cut it out. And one thing I wanted to point out that I forgot to mention before is originally I was thinking when I was designing this layout that I wanted to use this cute piece of sunflower paper on a border, but I have this thing about directional print on a piece of cardstock, and that is if I wanted to do it the way that I'm doing it, which is having one of the borders go this way and the other one to go across the bottom. I couldn't do that with the print paper in my mind, because then I would have sunflowers laying on their side. This way it would be okay, but this way it would not. So the only time that I use the borders and I put them in two different directions is if the print on the paper is not directional. So this is not directional. No matter which way you turn it, the circles are okay, and if you understand what I'm saying. Whereas, I'll show you another example. There was a piece of paper left over from that kit also. I'm going to get it out right now. And it was sunflowers. And it was this one. Now this is really directional as far as I'm concerned. You could use it as a border here, but if you put it this way, you've got your sunflowers laying on their side. And that is a pet peeve with me. I just can't do it. So this paper gave me the option to be able to go ahead and put it either way that I wanted to. Okay, so I've got this cut out for here, and I've got this over here, and I'll cut this out in just a little while. But I was going to show you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to take my Distress ink. This color is called Scattered Straw, This is Tim Holtz Distress Inks made by Ranger. I use the Daubers, and they're the ones that Kiwi Lane sells. And when I distress, I know a lot of you just use your brown ink, but I use complementary colored inks on all my layouts. It's just something that I do. And I try to highlight the colors to go along with the paper that I've chosen. And I'm very liberal. I use a lot of the ink. I really want it to show up. I don't just go lightly along it. I really get it on, like so. Then what I'm gonna do is I have these gel pens that I got at Hobby Lobby. They're $6.99. This is the yellow. Let's put that up there. And I'm going to give it a little bit more pizzazz with some sparkle along the edge here. It's darker than the ink, but not by a whole bunch. But after I get it on, you'll see that it really shows up. Now, I've been doing this for a long time, so I can go pretty fast at it, but it takes a little bit of practice. And don't be nervous if you go outside the lines. It's okay. You can come back in and fill in, and you can make your line as heavy as you want. It can be real skinny, like this, or it can be heavier, as I'm doing, because I want it to really show up, because I want this to pop. Okay? So I'm going to do it on this one, and then I'll do the other one off camera, so my video isn't 2 hours long. So this is going to look like this. Okay, just like so. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it down. Now, I don't use a adhesive runner. I use a white glue when I do my work, and I have it in a little bottle. It actually comes in a larger bottle, like so. And it's called Glue Based It, and it's made by Roxanne. You can get it on scrapbook.com or at any quilting store, because it's actually a basting glue for quilters. And they use it to hold 2 pieces of material together, so that when they sew, it doesn't move around. And then when they wash the quilt or whatever, the glue dissolves. But if you use it with 2 pieces of paper, it adheres fantastic. It doesn't take very much glue. It dries clear. Let me see here how much of this I want to show. I think about like that. That's what's nice about these bordered funky frills. You can have as much showing as you want. So I think I'm going to do like that. Then I'm going to take another pin. Oh, not that one. Use this one. And this is just a black roller pin. And I'm going to do a little stitching along here, so it looks like I sewed this down. I'm going to move over here a little closer so you can see. Now, one thing that I pointed out in some of my other videos is I move my piece around as I'm working to make it easy for me to not put my hands into the ink. So just turn it. Your stitching doesn't have to be exact or the same size, because if you were hand stitching this with the needle and a thread, you wouldn't be able to get perfect stitches if you did. You would be a fantastic embroiderer or sewer, but I just try to get them as close as possible. Let's shift it a little bit here. So now we've got that. Let's put her down, see how she looks. Oh, I like that. I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to put one more thing on it to really make it pop. And this is another product that I've shown in my videos, and it's called Liquid Pearls. They're still available on scrapbook.com, and you can find them at Joann's. And this is a case that holds them that I bought separate, and I just found it on Amazon, scrapbook.com also. So Liquid Pearls is a three-dimensional product. It's a paint. The thing about using it, it takes a little while to dry. It'll be dry in about an hour, but it's best to let it dry overnight before you put it in your plastic sleeve in your album. Otherwise, it will flatten out the look of the pearls. And the product is what I used on here to put these little drops on here. So when you do it, it actually makes it look like you put little pearls here when you didn't. The idea is when you apply it, let me move my pen, is you squeeze and pull away, squeeze and pull away, squeeze and pull away. So I'm going to do 3 little dots on each, and they're not going to be exactly the same. 3 could be here, 3 could be there. I'm just going to do them randomly. Now, if I didn't start this out and clear it out because I knew I had used it recently, so I knew it wasn't plugged. But if it does get plugged, just take a straight pin, like a sewing straight pin. I use these right here, and put it down in here and unplug it. Then what I do is I do it on a sample piece of paper, like so, to make sure that it's not plugged. Because if it is plugged and you squeeze real hard, it's going to go and put a big mess on your paper, and you wouldn't want that. So make sure your tip is clear before you use it. These come in all different colors. And if you can't find them, there's another product, and it's called 3-dimensional paint, and it's by, I need to move this out of the way. It's made by Nuvo, N-U-V-O. So either of them will work just fine. So I think that looks cute. It reminds me of these little dots here, but they're not circles. Okay, so we've got that. I'm going to now go off camera in a little while and cut this off and do the same thing over here, so you don't have to watch me do it. And I have decided that I want the dark blue. This is moving around on me. I want to get me a couple of my magnets here. There we go. I have decided that I wanted to use the dark blue for mats. So I cut those a little while ago. And I will glue those down when I come back. You'll see. I'll measure. I do a lot of eyeballing here, and here, but I'll measure to make sure it's it's a lot closer. So I'll determine this space here after I cut this out and get it in so I can see how much room I have here. So I have to be very careful with this because these are wet. If I was going to tell you, if by chance you squeeze it and you make a mess and you don't like it, don't try to take it off. Let it dry. After it's dried overnight, you can take a sharp little tool or a pair of scissors or tweezers and you can get right underneath it and pop it right off, and then you can do it again. But if you try to do it when it's wet, you're going to have a mess. So I have to be careful here that I don't touch this. So I'm going to take it while I'm working. Well, I'm going to do something else first. I decided while I'm still here, I'm going to cut out my fence here. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to detail this out, because this shouldn't take too long to cut out. Let me see if there's some other little tip I can give you. Oh, I'm also thinking about using the dark blue and putting a little strip down here, 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 and here, depending on what my scallop looks like once I get it cut out on this side. I want to make sure I don't put my arm in that little sample dot there I put there too. I buy my products here and there and everywhere. We still have a great scrapbook store about a half an hour from where I live. I was just there the other day and picked up some cute paper. And so I can get some stuff there, but I do shop online, and I still go to Michael's, and I still go to Joann's, depending on what I'm looking for. Some items are getting hard to find. See how I turn my paper? Okay, we're halfway there. Again, purpose of me making this is to show you how many finished layouts I got out of one of the Kiwi Lane designer club kits. You can stretch that paper as far as you want, and a lot of people make cards and they take the scraps and make cards out of the scraps. I'm not a card maker. I love to scrapbook and make big things, and I have so many pictures that I'm trying to get into albums, so I really don't take the time to make cards, but I know a lot of you do. I even save, just a second, what I do is when I have leftover paper from a kit, I save it in a plastic, that's where I got that piece of paper, a plastic, oops, I hit my phone there, a plastic bag like this. And then if I'm working on a layout and I'm looking for a color, I'll think, oh, didn't I have some blue, or didn't I have something with sunflowers in it? And I'll keep this in my stack with my full kits, and then I can rob Peter for Paul. I can take something from this and use it somewhere else, and it works out good. So I keep all my little pieces together. Let me get this little piece out of here. Okay, now I'm going to take a dark brown of the Tim Holtz Distressed Inks, and this is called Walnut Stain, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did on this trim here, and I'm going to cover up. Whoops, I see one that I missed. I was talking and not paying attention. I missed one of the pickets here. I'll just go back and get that out of there. There we go. So I can cover up all my pencil. And I can blend in the wood look. I think when I'm done here, I'm going to use a black too, because it's not highlighting, it's blending in a little too much for me. I really like my inks to show up, but it might be okay. We'll see. Yeah. A little bit more, I think. Okay. There. Let's put that over there with the other one. And let's get out the black. And let's give it a look and see what it looks like. It's called Black Soot. I keep these all in these little cans that are made by Tim Holtz also, and it holds all the inks in here. So, and I just bought, I don't remember where I put it. Oh, here it is. I just bought the other day some new colors that he came out with. I had some empty spaces in my tin cans that I store it in. See, like in here, I have an empty space, so I'll have room to put one in here. When those get full, I'll probably stop shopping. Ha, what scrapbooker stops shopping? Okay, I'm going to try some black and see if I like that. Yes, I like that. Just a little bit around the edge. Now it's going to really pop. Okay, I like that. Just give it a little bit more accent. Now, you don't have to do all this inking. It would have looked nice with just the brown, but it's my thing. Okay, so I'm going to go back to that roller pin. And I'm going to go around the pickets and down like so. Just to be safe, I'm going to turn this piece of paper over so I don't write on my work here. And I'm just going to do a couple of these so you can see what it's going to look like. And then I'll do the rest off camera. Okay, and then this goes down here. Like I said, if you go out of the lines, it's okay. Just go back and fill it in. I'm going to do a couple more for you. So I stop like that, and then I'm going to go across here. So the picket is sitting on top of the backboard. Just like so. We'll just complete 2 of them for now. Okay, that looks like wood, doesn't it? That turned out pretty good. Okay, so, yeah, I like that. Okay, so, oh, did I? Nope, almost put it right in my little dots I was telling you to be careful with. So I'm going to finish this up off camera. I'm going to glue this down. I'll cut this out and make it match here. And then I've got another surprise that I'm going to do over here with the fence. So I'll come back and show you that. And that after that, I'll be able to determine if I'm going to put the little blue strip along here and along there. Okay, so I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. So I've got everything glued down, my borders, my mats. I went ahead and cut the little strips that I told you about because I decided that that's what I thought would look good. So I've got that glued down, and I cut them over here also. So everything is in place. What I have over here is the fence. And let me make sure that I have that. Yep, I have it in there. Okay. I have the fence. And what I did, I said I was going to have a little surprise over here. There was this title card that came with the kit. And it had different titles. It had daughter and sister and grandma. And so I've cut it down and made it small. And we're going to make it into a little sign that we're going to hang on our fence. So I've got Fossiled Amber Distressed Ink, which is a little darker than the others. And I'm going to do my thing with chalking or inking. I always called it chalk because years ago that's what I used, was a chalk. And I'm going to do the gold around there. Around here. By the way, if your lid ever gets mixed up from the bottom where your ink pad is, like this, and you're not sure if this goes with this, on the bottom it has the name Fossiled Amber, and so you know this top goes with this bottom. Then the next thing I'm going to do is Faded Jeans. Should be a good color for my sign. I'm going to get out a blue dauber. That's my green, okay. And I'm going to, oh, that's perfect. Go around the edge and distress this. Okay. Let's see, there's a little glue. You can see I don't need very much glue to make this work. Maybe it went this way, yeah. I had turned that. Okay. And I think for the grandma that I'm going to pop it up. I have these little tiny pop dots that I use, foam dots. And we'll put that right here. Got it on a little crooked. Lift it up. Straighten her out. There we go. That's kind of cute. Then I'm going to take, there it is, this little pad here and put it behind my little sign, and I'm going to poke holes in here. And I've pre-cut a little piece of wire. It's just some little wire that I had, and it came in a little box like so, with different color wires. So I cut a little piece, and I'm going to bring it through here, maybe. There we go. And then I'm going to twist it. A couple times around. That should do it. And let's see how long. I don't want it very long. Let me bring it over here and see how we want this to look. My allergies have been driving me crazy the last few days. You'll hear it in the video. So I'd say about right here. So I'm going to bend that a little so I know where that's at. I cut plenty of this so I'd have enough. There we go. Okay. Let's bring this up. Twist it around here a couple times. Make it kind of look like it matches the other one. That should do it. Okay, and then I have these little cutters. So I'll snip that off. Let's see how that looks. Where's my fence? Oh, here it is, way over here. Oh, that's cute. Okay. That's gonna work. Sounds like my husband's getting ready to go to bed, so we'll probably hear him come through here in a couple minutes. And say good night. Okay. So that's going to cover up a little bit of our little dots that we put there, but that's okay. So let's put the blue away. So then I found something in my stash, and they were stickers, and they were sunflowers. So what I did is I took a piece of, just stuck a piece of old white cardstock behind it, because I didn't want them to be stickers. I wanted to be able to pop them up. So I picked out 3 of them and fixed them so that I could use them. And then I used out of Homegrown, which came with the fence, and traced 3 of the stems on some green. I'm not sure. I think this also came with the sunflower. If not, it's a Kiwi paper for sure. And I'm going to cut out one and show you how I'm going to use it. So I'm just going to cut this out here. And I like to use, instead of solid green, I like to use a little bit of a pattern. This was just a little scrap of green I had left. I told you I save everything. And I'm going to pull it out and show you what I have left. I still have this piece left. And so I'll be able to make more. So I keep that down in my stash under my desk here, with my little pieces of colored cardstock. So anytime I'm looking to do a little paper piecing, I can go in there and find something that was left over. So like I said, I don't do cards, but I need a lot of little things. Okay, let's get this out of the way. I don't save this small of stuff, but I save pretty small. So I got a green dauber and some green ink, and I'm going to do my thing again. And I'm going to put a lot of color on here. And if you notice, it covers up all my pencil marks. There we go. I'm just going to do one of them, and then I'll go back and do the other ones off camera. And I've picked out a pen from another gel pen set that I got from Hobby Lobby for $6.99. But these are metallic, so they're not, don't have the sparkle in them, but they do look metallic. I'm using the black, which it's actually a charcoal gray, and I'm going to go around the edges. I'm going to get a piece of paper again. Just a minute. There we go. So I can do it up here so you can see me do it close. Now, I'm not being too perfect on this because I don't know how much of the leaf is actually going to show. I don't mean perfect as far as my lines. I mean as far as cutting this perfect, because I know that's going to be tucked behind the fence. It probably won't even show. And if it does, I can go back and tidy it up. Again, notice, I turn my paper. I don't try to go around. I turn it around so that it's easy to be able to use my pen on it. Okay, one more I think over here. And one more down here. I think that'll do it. So let's see how this turned out. Put my lid on here so I don't make a mess. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I'm going to put this back here, like so. And then I have two more that I'm going to do. I'm going to put this sunflower right here. I'm going to pop it up. I'm going to take another one. And my little fence got crooked. And I'm going to put it down lower. And then I'll do another one over here like so. This one is like the sunflower, it's not quite open all the way. So I think that's going to look cute. So that fills in that for me. Over here is where I had the big sunflower. And in this picture here, there was a car parked on the street and I didn't like it. So this leaf is going to cover that perfect. So I think I'll do that first. So I'm just going to put a little glue and pop that right there. And then I'm going to take my sunflower and I'm going to take a couple of foam squares and pop it up a little. Even though it's already three-dimensional, I like them to look really three-dimensional. And I'll use those same things under these also. When this is all done and I have it all completed, I will come back and do a close-up picture for you. I think that's good. I wanted it by the flowers here. So, as you can see, I had showed you before my completed layouts, and this was 1, 2, 3 pieces of paper. I added the background, and this was a little sheet I had left. So I said I was making 5. I think this was number 5. Or is this number 4 of the layouts. And look, I'm going to go show you this. I still have half a sheet here, a third sheet here, and this. I still have enough. I could make some cards. I could squeeze this with more paper. I could even, like I told you, I had this one piece of sunflower paper that I showed you was very directional. I'm going to whip that out again. And I could use that with it. So you can just go on and on using your scraps with your Kiwi kit. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up here, and then I'm going to come back and show you some close-ups of what the detail looks like on it so you can see it up close, because I know the angle that I have the camera at right now isn't that great. My dots are dry, but like I said, I wouldn't put this under plastic or in an album because it would smash them down. They have to dry till they're hard. Okay, I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Okay, I said I'd come back, and I want to show you what the stitching and the dots and the pen work looks like on the page. This is the sunflower, and this is the full page. There you go. So coming back over, not too fast, here's what you can see, the sparkle. Oh, I was going to show you also here how three-dimensional that is, how it stands up, because I popped it up. And then over here, like I said, here's the little dots and the stitching. And then my favorite part, I thought, turned out really cute. The little fence we made with the wood grain looking paper. And just by chalking around it and putting the black, it really made it stand out with the detail. And the little sign with the yellow around it, and then the faded jeans blue I used, and the wire to make it look like it's hanging on the fence. And these are the stickers that I found in my stash. And there's the green paper that I said was Kiwi paper. And the green chalking that I did. And close-up of the black pen that I outlined. And so that full page looks like so. And I'm going to turn the camera, slowly we turn. And here's what the layout looks like all together. So I want to thank you for joining me. Creating this, it was number 5 of my 5th layout using the Kiwi Lane September Kiwi Club Kit. And just adding a few little accessories and some background paper. So, hope to see you join me with another video in the future. Thanks. Have a nice evening.